As the recently appointed head coach of the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White is preparing for a season characterized by development and achievement. Following a distinguished tenure with the Connecticut Sun, White is resolutely committed to transforming the Fever into a team capable of contending for a championship. In her introductory press conference, she articulated a clear vision centered on leadership, player development, and ultimately securing titles. Caitlin Clark, who has recently been recognized as Time's Athlete of the Year, had an outstanding rookie season in the WNBA. The 22-year-old guard established several records, including those for single-season and single-game assists, and became the first rookie in league history to accomplish a triple-double. Her remarkable performance propelled the Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. Nonetheless, despite Clark's individual achievements, former head coach Christy Sides was released following the conclusion of the season, permitting White to assume the coaching role. White's return to the Fever marks a significant homecoming. Having previously served as an assistant coach and then head coach from 2011 to 2016, White possesses an in-depth understanding of the organization and its culture. With a fresh group of players, including Clark, White aspires to guide the Fever back into the playoffs and potentially advance further in the 2024 season. As the Fever gear up for the upcoming WNBA season, set to commence in May, White is concentrating on fostering a sustainable culture of winning. She has already initiated collaborative efforts with Clark and the team to enhance their gameplay and leadership skills. Should everything proceed as anticipated, the Fever will be targeting consecutive playoff appearances, with Clark spearheading the efforts. The synergy of White's leadership, her familiarity with young athletes, and Clark's vast potential creates an exciting prospect for a new chapter in the Indiana Fever's history. With effective guidance and a commitment to team success, the outlook appears promising for both White and Clark in the forthcoming WNBA season. With an unprecedented Rookie of the Year performance from generational basketball talent Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever secured their place in the WNBA playoffs for the first time since 2016 during the previous season. Although the Fever achieved postseason participation in 2024, they ultimately faced defeat, experiencing a first-round playoff sweep against the Connecticut Sun. This postseason appearance signifies a positive development for the Indiana franchise. Yet the Fever possess more ambitious goals as they approach their 2025 WNBA campaign. With newly appointed head coach Stephanie White leading the team and Clark returning for her second season as the league's premier star, the franchise is setting its sights higher for the upcoming season. Clark conveyed a similar sentiment during her participation at the Annika Pro-Am golf event in November. Our objective last year was to qualify for the playoffs, and we achieved that milestone. However, our current ambition is to become contenders for the championship, Clark articulated. I believe we are assembling the necessary components to facilitate this, hopefully by recruiting some free agents. There is a palpable sense of enthusiasm permeating the organization, the city, and among our supporters. I am eager to return to the court. Truthfully, I wish we had a game scheduled for tomorrow. Clark aims to build on what was a remarkable debut season as an all-star point guard for the Fever in 2024. In her inaugural professional season, Clark averaged 19, 2 points, 5, 7 rebounds, and an impressive 4 assists per game, leading the league. She concluded the season as the all-time leader in single-game and single-season assists and became the first rookie in WNBA history to record multiple triple-doubles. With the impact of a celestial body, Caitlin Clark emerged to revolutionize women's basketball for a generation eager for a fresh form of entertainment. Clark's illustrious NCAA tenure with the Iowa Hawkeyes led to her selection as the first overall pick by the Indiana Fever in the 2024 WNBA draft. And the standout point guard did not fail to impress in her debut season. After achieving the record for the most points scored by a college basketball player, Clark is now focused on loftier ambitions. Despite her remarkable scoring ability, Clark faced disappointment in college, with her cherished Hawkeyes suffering defeats in back-to-back national championship games in 2023 and 2024. To rectify this, Clark will not find contentment until she secures victory in the professional arena, and her team believes they are now nearer to realizing this aspiration. In a recent discussion, Fever guard Lexi Hull reflected on the fruitful 2024 season. Yet she noted that replicating a 20-20 record in 2025 was not precisely the target. Qualifying for the playoffs was a significant achievement, but our aim is to advance further and win, Hull stated, signaling an intent to the rest of the league about the Fever's aspirations for the upcoming season. The landscape of basketball has transformed in Indiana since Clark's arrival. Once an adrift franchise that had not qualified for the playoffs since 2016, it managed to secure the 6th seed in the 2024 playoffs. Despite a best-of-3 series loss to the seasoned Connecticut Sun, Indiana swiftly made a statement by hiring the Suns' head coach to replace the troubled Christie Sides. Currently, hopes for securing the franchise's first championship since 2012 have accompanied Stephanie White's introduction as the Fever head coach, alongside the anticipation that Clark will reach even greater heights in her second professional year. Clark was a frontrunner for Rookie of the Year accolades last season, averaging 19 points, 8 assists, and nearly 6 rebounds per game, while shooting 34% from beyond the arc. In her second year, she is expected to be a leading candidate for WNBA MVP honors, a title she could very well claim if she leads Indiana to a top 3 seed. With Clark, Hull, Aaliyah Boston, and Alyssa Smith established as the Fever's foundational members, Indiana is poised to be one of the most compelling teams to observe in 2025. Clark may gain further advantages from additional rest, as numerous luminaries of the W are participating in the 3-on-3 unrivaled league this offseason, while she takes a hiatus from competitive play. Caitlin Clark, who was selected as the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, reportedly generates income exceeding her annual salary through just 30 minutes of public speaking engagements. Clark was anticipated to earn below $100,000 in her inaugural year in the league, with an annual salary of $76,535 and a 4-year contract valued at $338,056. Nevertheless, the 22-year-old point guard has successfully accumulated millions through diversified sponsorship and endorsement arrangements. Nike has entered into an 8-year contract with Clark, amounting to an impressive $28 million, which translates to an average of over $3 million per year for her endorsement of the brand both on and off the court. Other companies such as Wilson, Gatorade, Topps, and State Farm have also capitalized on Clark, forming endorsement agreements that have elevated her estimated net worth to $4 million by 2024, according to Marca. Recently, it was reported that Clark earned an astonishing $100,000 for a discussion with David Letterman during the David Letterman Distinguished Professional Lecture and Workshop Series at Ball State University on December 2, 2024. Don Steinbrugge, founder and CEO of Agecroft Partners, recounted his attempts to arrange a speaking engagement with Clark on LinkedIn during the WNBA season, indicating that the costs would be significant. Steinbrugge stated, We reached out to her organization to engage her for a 30-minute virtual presentation as part of our Gaining the Edge Global Cap Intro 2024. We offered her the option to choose any business day within a 6-week span and select any time slot between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. We were informed that her virtual speaking fee commenced at $100,000, which exceeded our budget. She earns more in a 30-minute virtual meeting than she does over a 40-game WNBA season with her team. The CEO emphasized that Clark was merely being asked to participate in a virtual event for half an hour, suggesting that an in-person appearance could entail even higher fees. Caitlin Clark reflected on her rejection of Notre Dame and how her choice to enroll at Iowa has proven to be fruitful. The Indiana Fever athlete has made a significant impact in the WNBA, securing Rookie of the Year following a remarkable debut. However, Clark's remarkable ascent can be largely attributed to her 4 years at Iowa, where she earned AP Player of the Year honors on 2 occasions and stands as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history with 3,951 points. Her decision was particularly brave, especially given that Notre Dame had secured the NCAA Division I title just 2 years before her entry into college. When discussing her university selection on the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelce, Clark pointed to her close familial ties as a significant factor in her decision-making process. When evaluating my choices, I understood that I desired to remain in the Midwest. Being a family-oriented individual, I aimed to stay relatively close to home, which significantly limited my options, she remarked. I explored Oregon, Texas, and several other locations. While I appreciated these places, I sensed they were simply too distant. Similar to numerous young athletes hailing from the Midwest, Caitlin Clark grew up admiring Notre Dame athletics. The WNBA sensation recounted her experience visiting Notre Dame and her contemplation of joining the Fighting Irish during a discussion on the New Heights podcast on Thursday. As a child, attending Notre Dame was a dream, Clark expressed. It epitomizes coolness. It's Notre Dame, steeped in tradition. Clark has previously articulated to ESPN that former Notre Dame women's basketball coach Muffet McGraw endeavored to recruit her, while her family also expressed a desire for her to represent the Fighting Irish. My family wished for me to attend Notre Dame, Caitlin stated. Ultimately, they emphasized that I should make the decision for myself, yet